Jim, I'm back.
Welcome
My favorite website, and now you have a TV show. So Jim, introduce yourself to the people again.
Jim Paratore, executive producer of TMZ.
All right, so we're talking about this idea of creating a television show from a website property, essentially. But it's not the same thing. Talk about that really briefly.
I think because we were TV people when we did the web, we didn't have to admit we didn't know anything. We just didn't know anything.
Right.
So through trial and error, we figured it out. And then when we came back to TV, rather than trying to overthink, well, we're taking a website and turning it into a TV show, we just said, let's just make a good TV show, figuring that if we got that right, then we could figure out the interconnectivity of the two.
Right. So they don't depend on each other, and yet no one's really gotten that secret sauce of connecting television to the internet. I mean, there's always this talk about it.
No, I mean, I think we've come pretty close, and I think some stories lend themselves to that better than other stories, where there's some ongoing component to it that allows you to send people back and forth, where, you know, the show gives you the tip of the iceberg, and you can see some more video here, or there's some interactivity you want with the audience where you can get it back.
Right.
So I think there have been instances in stories where we have been able to make that really work well, and in some instances it doesn't seem.
How's it different? You've produced a lot of shows. You worked on the Rosie Show. You're a producer on the Ellen Show. What's the difference between what you're doing here? You guys are doing sort of some innovative stuff, especially compared to celebrity shows. Like, you don't do the red carpet and then fawning interview sort of formula.
No one's done an entertainment magazine show like this. It's not on the agenda. All of the other entertainment magazine shows are promotional shows, and they really live or die by their access to the celebrities, to the junkets, and to those kinds of stories. So they can only cover certain issues that relate to the individuals, and what we did on the website and have done now on the TV show is just cover celebrities as people and cover it as news and not just as a promotional.
So you're taking through the bloggy mood, the little bit snarky, sharp-edged, and bringing it to a genre that is not known for its sharp edges.
Yeah, I think what we do is try and have a show that says the things that real people say at home when they watch the other shows.
Right, exactly. Like, that's ridiculous, and what about that, and stuff like that. Has the internet really impacted that? Because I mean, I think the internet with all these sites, not just yours, Perez Hilton, all the sites are, except for maybe Sugar, which Pop Sugar, for example, they're not very nice, kind of thing. They're not very.
Well, we don't try to just go after people. I mean, I mean, I think we try.
No, they do it all by themselves. I think.
Yeah, we keep it in perspective.
Some of them don't need any help at all from you. They just kind of deliver it for you.
I think the key thing is we just don't take it all seriously. We take getting the information correct seriously. We take making sure that the facts are true seriously. But then when we tell the story, most of the stuff is not real serious stuff. So we do it with our tongue in our cheek.
Right. Now, you've done so much television. Do you think the internet changes how television is produced in any way? How so?
The internet, you know, strips away the BS. You know, I think people are tired of it, and tired of the pretension and the convention of it all. And I think, so even in the way that we've presented the show, you know, we've stripped down and gotten away from some of the more conventional aspects of magazine shows where you have lots of anchors and sort of the pithy chit-chat and the intros and the outs and all that. You just get to the story, give them the stories, keep it fast-paced, and keep it moving.
And you do it in the newsroom. You do it in the
newsroom.
It's
all right in the newsroom. It's no big studio production.
Right. So it costs a lot less, and it creates a more sort of newsy feel, I guess, in that way.
It's less money in the studio, and then we put the resources into really going out and getting the information.
Now, do you do a lot of, you're not doing interviews, you're not going to do your typical interviews, right? Do you see yourself doing that?
No, we don't do junkets
and you don't do red carpets and sit-downs.
We never expect a celebrity to actually give us.
Oh, really? They maybe sit on top of you.
Yeah.
So what about going out and getting stories, like as if it's a 16, you know, going, well, across the street, just hide, for example, just hang, that's part of the stuff you collect for the website.
That's part of it too, but we also, you know, are constantly digging for stories and break a lot of other stories beyond just the sort of paparazzi kind of video stories. You know, we're also on top of the courts and, you know, a lot of that kind of stuff as well.
Now, where is, you know, it's kind of a large, big question. Where's television going in your perspective? I mean, you don't put the show right now on the internet just to also watch. Do you do that yet? Are you planning on it?
No, we talked about it. You know, we put some of the pieces on the air every day. But I think ultimately what we're getting ready to do is to launch a TV landing page as it relates to the show, because we're producing 100 packages a week,
Right.
for the show.
Right.
And at some point, what we will end up having is a search page, where you can go and
Just get that
go
segment.
through our segments.
Could
right?
you
But I
show
think-
all the shows? Because a lot of network shows are now putting everything on with
Yeah, we
advertising.
could, but I think people are much more interested in specific stories. I think
Right.
that's what we've learned about the way that they, use the web.
So you
and-
let them mix and match kind of thing.
Exactly.
Right, right, so they can do whatever they want. It's that empowerment idea. Television has been such a packaged environment, in this format at least.
Yeah, because I think the thing that's so amazing about trying to manage this one brand across the two mediums at once is you have this instantaneous power of the internet where you can put it up and it's out there now.
Right.
And then you put it on TV where you have this huge reach,
Mhm.
and then it comes back to the web where then it lives on forever.
Right.
So it's sort of this interesting dynamic. It can be instantaneous, and it can be forever, and you
Right.
can reach this large audience.
And
It's
you can-
trying to
you can-
figure out how to work stories across that
Stuff
continuum.
you create for the TV show, you could then put pieces of it that didn't get in the TV show on the web, too, more,
Yes.
for example.
We do that.
I mean, I noticed Heroes, for example, which I'm a big fan of, putting up comics, they're putting up extra scenes, they're putting up all sorts of, as much stuff as they can shovel on there, and as a crazy fan, I watch it, kind of thing.
Well, there's a lot of stories on the website that don't make it into the show.
Right.
And sometimes there's extra material that we have from the show that goes to the website, so
Right.
it does feed back and forth like that.
Right. So what is the show of the future look like? This kind of thing where there is that strong internet connection, where there's that back and forth, or
You know,
is
I wish I had a crystal ball to really define it, but I think we're on a track where it all does come closer together.
Right.
To where, people kind of want what they want now when they want it. And, we can't do that exactly on television because, but then what television does is allows those people who don't have the time to just kind of go to it all day
Right.
to sort of sit back and catch up on everything at one time. So I'm not sure they're mutually exclusive, but I do think, it's that ability to create this, this brand that can be on the two platforms that's really the right place to be and to try and, work both of them back and forth. Because there's pluses and minuses both
right?
ways.
Right. You're groundbreaking. You, Brittany, Lindsay, groundbreaking.
Yes.